guys. First, I wanted to thank you all for being here and letting us pick your brains. What I want to ask was for Gerard. Has there ever been a storyline that you've started or a song you've started writing and realized this would make so much better a comic, or a comic storyline you've written that suddenly brought a music or song lyric to your head?
Yeah, that's happened. I think last year I was even talking about how I started to like the titles of Umbrella Academy issues more than I liked what I was titling songs. Because the song's different, like a song really tells you what it wants to be called. Sometimes you can start dealing with some things. There's a couple songs this time where it was based off just the title of the concept. Like, no, we have to have a song called that because that's awesome. And then that energy carries you through the whole thing. But yeah, you guys are definitely asking questions of exactly kind of where I'm plugged into right now, which is, maybe far less of a separation. I think when I re-entered comics, I think there needed to be a separation because I think I had a lot to learn, and I had to meet partners and people I trusted. We had to get through the kind of easy period of like, this guy can't write a comic, and I think now that that's
you definitely can.
Thank you. But I think now that that's all over, I think there's no more rules anymore. I want the next couple years just being about having no rules at all.
Thank you.
My question's for Gerard and Gabriel, although Scott, you're totally welcome to give your opinion as well. I was wondering, when you were kids or teenagers, adolescents, what TV shows and movies did you watch that were important to you and later on ended up influencing Gerard, your storytelling, Gabriel, your art, Scott, yourself?
Oh man, that's a great question. Because now I'm thinking about all the stuff, like the Great Space Coasters. I remember that. I think I'm kind of dressed like one of the guys in Great Space Coaster right now. Sid and Marty Krofft stuff. I love that stuff.
Lots of Great Space Coaster was Sid and Marty Krofft thing?
I don't think so. I don't think that one was. They were maybe inspired by Sid and Marty. You remember Great Space Coaster?
I think so.
Sid and Marty Krofft did?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a bummer. We were just watching Let's Go. Weeks ago. It was awesome. Star Wars is a huge deal to me. I'm totally not, I know it's not cool, but I'm not ashamed of that at all. It's a huge deal. Very inspiring to me. Even the ritual of, being, having really cool parents that would just get us Star Wars stuff, so you'd wake up on Christmas morning, and that was, your whole year set. What's that?
Oh, then there's your Tom Thompson.
I saw that, yeah. But when am I going to use that? It's not about me, right? Don't want, I guess. But, that kind of stuff, I was really into, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, He-Man, all that stuff really, you can see it poke in a little work sometimes. How about you?
Well, as a kid, I used to enjoy everything. I had no criteria whatsoever.
Can I tell them what you told Sierra over breakfast?
Oh yeah, that I used to like Mariah Carey. I used to watch Beverly Hills 90210. I loved every cartoon that was on TV. I loved movies, even though I didn't understand most of them. I always loved great fantasy, fiction things. I love Steven Spielberg. I love, everything. E.T., Jaws, Goonies. I love Gremlins. I had this gizmo teddy bear on my bed. So anyway, I used to love everything. All these stories for me were real. I think I was a really naive kid. I believed everything. So I put my gizmo. I had put my gizmo under the water, hoping that it would multiplicate or whatever. So that's that, you know, I got influenced by everything. I think it's good. I think, you know, kids should be naive, should believe everything and not, you know how things work. Now I know how things work, I know how movie works, how creating a story works, I know how, you know, this scene was put this way, and this camera, this angle, just to create that feeling, and that really, you know, gets in the way of the story. And I think kids should just, you know, get the story, believe that character is real, and, you know, be afraid or be in love. And I think music is the same way. Growing up in Brazil was fun because I liked a lot of songs that I didn't know what the lyrics were about, and you know, and I think that's a very important first step into liking music. Music's just, you know, fun beats and rhythm and stuff, and the lyrics are the next level, and for me anyway. So, you know, it took me like very long to know what the Beatles were saying or what Michael Jackson was saying.
Well, Carrie was singing about love.
They're always singing about love. Every song is about love. That's the way I feel it.
With you starting out with all that real mainstream stuff like Mariah Carey and 90210, everything you do now has this real independent, like kind of surreal vibe to it, very off the mainstream. Where did you start getting into that stuff? I mean, did your taste shift from 90210 to David Lynch at some point, or is this just your version of that?
No, it's just what I said before. Is that I like to talk about real life, and I think if you just get a little twisted version of that, people will pay attention more. You know, because I used to like bad reviews now, but that, you know, that shows about nothing. So, if you want to mean something, you know, you have to just be bold and do something weird and strange and extreme, so people will pay attention. If you just want to make a show that will last for years, you do something about nothing. So, you know, but see, that's the difference between being a naive kid who loves that show, and now I know being a creator who knows how things work, and you know, it's very different to do something that really means something, like movies that stick forever,
Right.
or TV shows that are meant to just go on for years and years and years playing, you know, keep playing, just like superhero movies.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Umbrella. You know, it's a superhero comic, but it's a comic that has something to say, means something. It's not going to last forever. It's going to get to a point. We have a lot of things to say. And that's the kind of thing I want to do.
Yeah, I think Umbrella is one of the rare superhero comics that can address that kind of thing. You know, I mean, I was not when Gerard first sent me the pitch for Umbrella, I was so not in the market for a superhero comic. And when I saw it laying there, and I knew it was a superhero thing, so it sat there for a while without me paying attention to it. Not because I turned my nose up at superheroes, just because it's not my tastes. Just haven't been there in a long time, and it's just not much of what I do. And then I read this thing, and it was like, yeah, it said something about the world, and it had a point of view on the world and on a reality that I could totally relate to. And yeah, it's the most surreal superhero book I think anybody's doing now or recently. But yeah, I love that he can say those things about reality in a surreal way with people in costumes, kind of in costumes.
Kind of, yeah. It's its own thing. That's why it's so special.